What's up everyone, Clark Glassford, founder of My Practice Interview. We help you land your dream job, and today we're talking about an extremely common interview question that catches so many applicants off guard when they come to their interview. And it goes something like this: if you were successful in getting this role, what would you achieve in the first 30, 60, 90 days? And so many of us when we get to that interview, don't worry, I've got the formula for you to answer this question, and it's coming right up. But before we get there, if you're here for a reason. You're here because you're looking for career advice, how to interview, how to write a resume. I've got tons of tips and videos on my YouTube page. Like, subscribe. Every week we're posting new videos. Get on that today. As well as there's links to tons of information below, how you can contact me, how you can reach out, how we can connect. I have got a solution for every budget. So link up with me. And with that said, here we go. So the question that comes up quite often in interviews is, if you're successful in getting this role, what would you do in the first 30, 60, 90 days? And it sounds like a really tough question, and it is if you haven't prepared for it, but it's really quite straightforward and just requires a bit of planning ahead, so when you get to that interview, if that question does come up, you know what you're going to say. Why are interviewers asking this question? Why are recruiters and hiring managers wanting to know what you're going to do in the first 30, 60, 90 days? It's as simple as this. It's like you playing a sports game and the coach saying, okay, go, you're going in, and you're like, put me in, coach, but now what do I do? Tell me how to play the game. Tell me how to kick the ball, how to throw the football, how to hit that tennis ball back across the court. That is what the question is essentially asking is, have you given some thought, if you get this job, what you're hoping to achieve within a certain time frame? We're not talking about 10 years down the road, we're just talking within the first 3 months. And so they're asking if you have given some thought to the company, the role, who your boss may be, and how you're going to try and achieve and add value, add impact to the organization that you've applied for. They want to see that you're thinking about working for them. And that is why they're asking that question. So how do we answer this question? Really, really simple. And it's 3 stages, which goes understand, evaluate, and then optimize. Those are the 3 stages following 30, 60, 90. And let me explain. So within the first 30 days, you need to understand your role. And what does that look like? So in part of your answer, you want to say, in the first 30 days, I want to be a fly on the wall. I want to observe and try and suck in as much information as I can. How do you do that? You learn from meeting with your boss, your colleagues, customers, learning about the organization's processes or products that they're selling. You're there to be a sponge. You're there to learn. That's in the first 30 days. Just understanding the role, understanding the company, understanding what your boss wants out of you. So the first part of your answer is, I am here to understand. The first 30 days, I'm just getting a lay of the land. I'm trying to figure things out, and you're going to cover off those areas. Next 30 days, so 60 days, you're there to evaluate. What's working? What's working in your role? What are you seeing around the company? There's going to be things that are working, things that maybe aren't working. You're going to see some strengths in your role with your colleagues, with your customers. You might see some weaknesses as well. You might identify some of those things like, if I put a little effort in here, maybe I can solve a problem for the organization. Maybe I can add some real value and impact. So that's where you're in the 60 days, you're evaluating. You're seeing what works, what doesn't work, and where you can add massive value and massive impact. So that's the 60-day mark. The next 30 days, day 90, here you are optimizing. So you've got a plan, you want to launch that plan, you want to implement that plan. So what things are you going to change in your processes? What value are you going to add to your customers? How can you impact the product that perhaps you're selling or the services that you're delivering that are going to increase the value? That is what you're doing in the 90-day mark. You're optimizing. So you're understanding, you're evaluating, you're optimizing. Those are the 3 areas that you're focused on when you answer that question. And it's all about, what can you give back to the organization? How can you enhance your own skills in that organization? Perhaps you're going to need some training thrown in there as well, because maybe there's a bit of a deficit or a weakness on your end that in order for you to help the organization, you've got to do a little bit of training to get there too. That's okay. but you're building out a really well-rounded answer that is answering for the potential employer here. Hey, this person's given some thought. They're thinking ahead to the role in the organization and what they're gonna do within the first 3 months of working there. It's a really easy way to structure your answer, but it's really, really powerful in delivering that to an employer who goes, yes, this person is switched on, they're thinking about it, they want to join my company. So the last piece of advice here, you need to have whatever you're saying at the end of, here's what I'm going to do to optimize, it needs to be follow the SMART principle. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So whatever you're saying, whatever your plan is, whatever you're going to do to launch and implement, you want to be specific. How are you going to measure success? How are you going to achieve it? Is it relevant to your role and what the company is looking for? And is it within some actual time limits? You don't want to say, I'm going to do all this wonderful stuff, but that's 3 years down the road. No, you want to say, I'm going to be able to do this, and I'm going to be able to do it within this time frame. So use the SMART principle. It's a great acronym. You can throw that into your answer as well. It works wonders. So with that said, that's as easy as it gets for answering the 30, 60, 90-day question. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like always, I've got great resources in the links below. Link to my practice interview ebook. It's a free ebook, walks you through how to prepare for your next job interview, but it also has practice interviews at the end of the book that you can actually use to, guess what, practice for your next upcoming interview. It's a wonderful resource, it's free. You have no excuse not to download that right now. Also below, you're gonna see the Interview Accelerator workshop presented by me. It's a digital workshop that goes through step-by-step how to write your resume, cover letter, the different types of interview questions you can be asked, how to answer those interview questions, and how to navigate through all the pitfalls you may find yourself walking into in that interview process, how to avoid them, and how you can hear the magic words, "You're hired." So check that out as well. Well worth your while. And like I always say, keep rocking those interviews, everyone. Until next week, take care.